We're going to start this food video off with avocado oil and butter. This is what I will be sauteing my chicken and shrimp in. We're about to season the chicken strips and the shrimp. This is what we'll be using today as our seasoning. So yes, this is what we'll be using for our seasoning today. Now that I have my chicken strips in the pan, I'm gonna hit these strips with some garlic oil. Now that I oiled them and smoothed it all over, I'm about to hit it with some taco seasoning, mild flavor. So now that the chicken strips are fully seasoned, we're gonna bounce over here and turn up the heat because I had it on low. So we're gonna put it on medium so we get the pan nice and hot. Well, actually we'll turn it up to high and then lower it just so we'll get the butter and avocado oil nice and hot, and that'll give us a quick stir. Because remember, it's chicken strips, and it really doesn't take that long to cook, and if you leave it in too long it will dry out. So we want to get a nice stir, let it cook inside but not overcook. Now that the avocado oil and butter is nice and hot to my liking, we are going to add our strips. Alright guys, so this is our last strip. We'll add it here. And so now what we're going to do is let it serve for about 3 minutes, 2 minutes on one side, and then we'll flip it. Alright, we're going to flip our chicken breast tenders. Ooh, look at those grill marks. You see what I'm saying? Yes, baby. Look at those grill marks. Yes, this is what you're looking for, guys. You're looking for those grill marks. If you don't have those grill marks, we'll let that one sit a little longer. Then that means you turned it too soon. Okay, that looks good. Let's see what this one looks like. That one looks good. Yeah. Looking good. This one was the last one we put in, so yeah. Probably going to be the last one to really get grilled. Alright, so while we're waiting for these to grill on the other side, we'll move over here and I'm adding the shrimp, and I'll start seasoning the shrimp. So right now let's check the other side. It looks good. So we are going to start removing the grilled chicken from the pan. And remember, it doesn't have to, it's probably like 90% cooked, could be 100% cooked, but it doesn't have to be fully cooked because we're going to put it back in with the onions and peppers. So yeah, but you know, it looks good on both sides, and what we want is it to still be tender, and it still feels tender. So now that we took all of the chicken strips out, we're going to come back and we're going to add, let's see. Yeah, I think that looks good. Alright, so what we're going to do is come back and we're going to add our shrimp. Okay, so we're going to follow up with the shrimp the way we did with the chicken. We're going to add some garlic oil onto the shrimp, and that's just so the seasoning will stick. Then we're going to follow up with this second organic, vegan free, clean version of taco seasoning. So we're going to put our taco seasoning on the shrimp. Yeah, like that. Well, we're just going to mix these babies all up so they can all get that yummy seasoning on it. Yeah. Don't worry, guys. My hands are clean. Have a habit of scratching my scalp, and I put some of that temporary hair stuff when, instead of using dye so often, if I get like a little gray here or there, I put like that touch-up stuff, and it's black, and then I have a habit of scratching my head, and then my nails just be looking like shit all the time, just dirty. So but it's not really dirt, it's just that hair shit that you damn sure don't want in your food. So, but anyways, all right, so now that we have our shrimps all seasoned up, what we're going to do is we're going to transfer them over here. You don't have to put, shrimps don't take that long to cook. You don't have to crowd them. You can space them out. And of course, if you're just coming in on the video, we have butter and avocado oil in the pan, and we put a little garlic oil on the shrimp so the seasoning would stick. Yeah, so we're gonna put these in there. These are the chicken strips that we did already, and then we'll cut those up into like little fajita slices. But for now, we have moved on to the shrimp. Yeah, I didn't use the tongue to put these in because it would take forever. So, anyways, the only person eating this food is me. And I know where my hand's been, so I'm not feeding it to you guys. This is just a cooking tutorial in case you guys like fajitas and want to try and attempt to make them. So yeah, it's the last one, and try to attempt to make them yourself. Now these are going to most definitely need turning a little earlier than the other ones, because see, shrimp don't take that long to cook. So, and then remember, we're going to toss them all back in. See, once you see the edges, the trimming start to turn red, you know the shrimp are ready. Yeah, and then remember, we're going to toss them back in with the chicken strips and the onions and peppers, and they'll cook more, so you don't really want to overcook them. So we'll be back. Okay, so all the shrimps have been flipped. So I'm going to remove them, and I'm going to transfer them to the same plate with the chicken. And then we'll move on to our peppers and onions. So all the shrimps were removed. So now you have your shrimps and your chicken. So now we're going to move on with the oils, flavors, and juices in this pan. And we're going to throw in this pre-made fajita blend. So that's green peppers, red peppers, onions. And yes, I have more that I'm going to add, but for now we're just going to add these. All right, so let's dump them in. Ooh, look at all those pretty colors. Yes. All right. Spread them out. And We're going to let them saute. Once we get them where we need them to be, we'll remove it and then we'll add our mushrooms. All right, let's flip these babies. So yeah, we're basically doing a stir fry. We don't want to 100% cook it again because we are going to throw it back in all together and then it'll cook a little bit longer. So it doesn't have to be 100% cooked all the way through. It'll have more time to tenderize. So I have the fire on high or medium high. I just turned it up to high. Get a little more color. But I'm about to pull these out in a minute. Yeah, when you're doing like the peppers and onions, you sort of have to babysit them. Can't really just leave them. All right, so I think this is good. So I'm going to pull these out. Okay, so I removed it and it totally sucked up all the oil. So there's our chicken and shrimp and there's our peppers and onions. So I'm going to have to add more oil to here. And then what I'm going to do is throw in these mushrooms. All right, so we're going to go ahead on in with these mushrooms. Okay, we're just going to let these cook. Yeah. Okay, so our mushrooms are coming along. Our mushrooms are definitely mushrooming, for sure. Yeah. The mushrooms are mushrooming. Once they're done, we'll move them and put them over here with stack them on top the peppers and onions, and then excuse me. Then we'll move on with making our rice and our black beans. So the mushrooms, all right. So the mushrooms are ready to be removed. We'll just stack them on top of the peppers and onions. The mushrooms made like a nice juicy glaze, so you know I can't leave that in there. So I'll take the pot and turn it over and dump all that little glaze on top. All right, so we got our mushrooms on top of our peppers, and the next step we're going to do is put our rice on. So it's mushrooms, peppers and onions, shrimp and chicken. I'll be back. So what I'm basically doing now is taking the chicken breast that you guys saw me cook over here, and I'm putting it on the cutting board and cutting it into slivers. So once we get ready to have our fajitas, you know, we have like nice size slices like this. This is what you want to look for. You know, you don't want a bunch of big thick slices. You just want some nice slices like that. Okay guys, that's it for the chicken. It's all sliced up. See? Nice fajita slices. Yeah. So I'll add that back to the plate with the shrimp. All right, guys, so we're going to move on to our rice. We're going to make some yellow Spanish rice. So the ratio we're going to use is for 3 cups of rice, we are going to use 6 cups of water. So it's a 2-to-1 ratio. So for 3 cups of rice, you'll use 6 cups of water, and this is actually 1 cup. Okay, so I'm going to add my last cup of rice. Have 2 cups in there. So that's the 3rd cup. So now I'm going to add 6 cups of water. Okay, guys, so we added our 6 cups of water. So our ratio is 2-to-1. 3 cups of rice, and I usually eyeball it. I'm only doing this for the purpose of the video because I pretty much cook rice enough to know. So what I'm going to do is start it off on high heat and bring it to a boil. And as soon as it comes to a boil, I'm going to turn it down to medium heat with a lid on, and I'm going to let it cook for about 20 minutes. So guys, the 20 minutes is actually my eyeball method. You know, it could be give or take a little. I'm going to put this lid on, and if you notice, let me see, let me turn it on. Oh wow, that was real smart of me, right? All right, if you notice, let's see if I can find it. Let's see. This lid has 2 little holes, only on one side of the lid. That's for the steam to escape so your rice doesn't boil over. That's actually not the right top for this pot, but it's going to work for the purpose of this video. And like I said, I'll be back because it has to come to a boil. And then once it comes to a boil, because it's on high heat, I will turn the fire down. So in this pot, I am going to make my black beans. I'm going to add some oil, and I'll be back. Okay, so now that our rice came to a nice boil, just what we were looking for, we're going to turn the heat down to medium. Put it on medium heat, and we'll let it cook the rest of the way on medium heat. All right, so you see this oil? This is olive oil and butter, and I'm about to put these onions in there. Yes, put those onions in there. And we're going to saute those with some peppers and, I don't know, maybe a little bit of that chili pepper stuff. We'll see. Okay, guys, so I have my red peppers, green peppers, and onions in my pot. I'm going to let this simmer, stir fry, whatever you want to call it, for a few. Then I'm going to add my black beans. I added a little garlic powder, black pepper, some Creole seasoning, and then I'm going to take a little bit of this taco seasoning and just add a little. I'm not going to put a lot. That's it. You know, got to give it that Mexican flavor. I would have added some sofrito, but I don't have any. So we're going to work with that, and we're going to let all these flavors marinate. Once these flavors all marinate together, then what we're going to do is add 2 cans of these black beans. Yeah, I'm making a lot because today's my neighbor's birthday, and I'm going to, I know they probably took her out, her family probably took her out to eat at a restaurant, but I know she loves fajitas, so I'm going to still send her a plate. She can always have it for tomorrow. But yeah, so we're just going to let this stuff here work, and we'll be back. Okay, so now that we have like a nice translucent color on our onions and peppers, I did decide to open up this can of diced tomatoes and green chili peppers. So I'm going to add some. I just don't want to add the water, so I'll be back. So I threw some in. It'll probably have some heat. You can see those little seeds there. Ooh. Yeah, so now I'm going to add my black beans. So here's my can of black beans. And I'm just going to, yes, and I'm going to dump it in with all the juices. The juices is what gives it the flavor. So yes, I have 2 cans. Let me get the other one. And let me get something to scoop this out. Okay guys, so I added both cans of the black beans. So I'm going to just kind of mix everything up together and let this stuff cook down. Let the peppers and onions cook down into the beans until they are soft and pretty much blend in. So yeah, so I'm gonna put the lid on that and let that cook down, and let me check on the rice. Right now our rice is on medium heat and the rice is looking good. So I added a can of, the black bean can of water so it can come to a boil, and then I'm going to add a tablespoon of better than bouillon chicken flavor to it, just to enhance the flavors. Okay, so I'm just waiting for the beans to come to a boil. Once they come to a boil, I'll turn the heat down and put a lid on and let it marinate. Let's check on that rice. Ooh, the rice is looking good. Yes. Okay, so we just remember we have it on medium heat. So we'll put the lid back on and let it continue to cook. I'll turn the heat down just a little bit more so it doesn't burn on the bottom, about there. And we'll just let it continue to do its thing, because at this point now, it's really going to steam cook. So I just want to get the rest of that water out. And then, then you just kind of let it steam cook. We're going to let these beans come to a boil. Once they come to a boil, then basically, guys, our meal is done. So what I'll probably do is come back with another video that I'll attach to this with what everything looks like in the end. All right, guys, there you go. Chicken and shrimp fajitas. This is peppers, mushrooms, onions. This is shrimp and chicken. You already saw we got the rice and the black beans on the stove. And I'm about to put all this stuff in one unit and bring it all together. Okay guys, so I'm going to transfer the chicken and shrimp into this pan. Yes. Yep. Into that pan it goes. Yeah. Put that in there. Then what we're going to do is just throw in those peppers and onions. Yeah. And bring all those flavors together as one. All right. And there you have it. That is your chicken and shrimp fajita with peppers and onions. The rice is done. I'm going to turn it off because it's done. So turn that off. And right now, the black beans has come to a boil. So right now, what I'm going to do is just let it continue to cook. Then I'll turn it down on a low heat. And once the black beans sauce gets a little thick, then I'll know that it's ready. And I'll be ready to eat after that. But yeah, the rice is done. Woo, I done turned off the heat, and you see how perfect it comes out. Remember, that's a 2-to-1 ratio. If you use 3 cups of rice, you're going to use 6 cups of water. If you use 2 cups of rice, 4 cups of water, and you get perfect rice. So yeah, and this is the chicken and shrimp that we made. See how good that chicken look? Don't want to break it all up, but and we got those shrimp. We got the peppers and the mushrooms. Yeah. And there you have it, guys. Chicken and shrimp fajita with yellow Spanish rice and black beans. Thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned for my next video.